Where's that? Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. And then you can click the presentation button. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
In here, I would like to present about the computers. Computers, but the evolutions of the computer in here. There are so many antique computers and 20th century computers, and then modern computers are shown in the one figures, and another one. Okay. Firstly, I would like to introduce about the fast computer was invented in 19th century. We can identify the pattern those computer into the back-end mainframe, the mechanicals, because it was controlled by the gears and switches and human inputs. So we can identify the pattern. It was a mechanical and electrical computers. And the late that I would like to present about the second one is the late 20th century computer, because it transit from the back-end mainframe to the smaller and efficient personal computer. It was a big moment of the invention of the transistor, which made electronic more smaller, and the rise of the microprocessor, which can lead to the personal computer revolution. And another one is the early for 21st century computer. Today computer, I mean, today computers are, as we know, they are very sleek, lightweight, and highly efficient because of the powerful microprocessors and a huge amounts of storage space and fast internet connection. So, and also the maybe about the complex user interface. I can identify the because of those properties. They are really high end. And persistent in early 19th century, it can perform only complex mathematical calculation with mechanical precision. Just only calculate mathematical sums. But in late 20th century computers, it developed a little bit, and it can perform calculation at a breakneck speed, and it can provide the powerful and colorful display. And but in early 21st century, it can perform, and it developed a lot, and it performed billions of calculation per second, and with high-end OLED displays and larger storage capacity like 1 TB, 2 TBs, and it's very lightweight architecture design. And in the changes within the pattern, I would like to describe is for the fast computer is without the graphical user interface, and it has only intermediate holding capacity of storage. But in late 20th century computers, it only contains a task-based user interface, and it only introduced external memory concepts, and it can actually I researched a lot, but it can enable a little bit remote access, not fully. But in early 21st century, it has many graphical interfaces like touch screen and voice control and fingerprint sensor, just like that. And it developed a lot to be faster and reliable access to larger amounts of data here. For I would like to mention about the change for factors creating the new patterns from pattern A to pattern B. As we know, the evolution of the computing technology from Charles Babbage analytic engine that was a fast computer in 19th century to early 20th century computer because of the mechanical complexity and size, and the inability to be widely made and used for the different jobs. I think it is really hard to use. So and the computer also marked as a significant shift from the theoretical designs to the practical functioning electronic devices, and demonstrating the feasibility of the electronic computation here. Also from the pattern B to pattern C, we can see the 20th century computers are very significant technological development in computers because of the microprocessors and larger storage amounts in semiconductor technology, as we know, and artificial intelligence, and also we learn the machine learning, enhancing the performance in surgery, as we know, in healthcare, banking, education, and research. In those further, there are so many development in early 21st century here. So, from the pattern A, we have to to the pattern B because of the certificate change, because in efficiency of the computer and lack of the flexibility and problem with real application for the mechanical system. So we have to advance in electronics and innovation in electronic computing and need for scientific and engineering calculation. Therefore, we have to change we have to more advance together how to say 20th century computer with LED interface and display, I mean. And there's not enough for the human. So we have to change and we have to develop again. So in here, we need many calculations during the wartime and scientific research and business data processing. So therefore, people personally use push progress forward. So people want more personal computing, and we want the, how can I say this, is integrated circuits and microprocessor that which make the computers a lot faster. And we have to do the networking, that we need the internet to connect each other on the cloud. And in nowadays we have many development in many advancement in mobile computing and laptop. Therefore, we have to change from the IBM 1410 from computers to the modern computer today. I think that is enough for my presentation. Thank you, teachers, and thank you.
Thank you, Min, for your presentation. It is more insight on the computer history as well. I just want to clarify a little bit for the part of change within pattern. Actually, the objective is to observe and note down on the change within that pattern. For example, pattern of transition from bulky mainframe to smaller one. You mentioned that there has been introduced external memory concept. Am I understand correctly that you mean within that pattern, within the pattern of late 20th century, at first they might not have external memory, but then they introduce this memory concept?
Yeah, they don't have external memory. They only have the limited memory, because they are for them maybe about only 1 gig or 4 gig. There are so many, just like the size of the external memory this is maybe about the size of house, you know. It's
At
really
that time
so
it's
big.
really big.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, thank you. So I think it is for the bulky mainframe, it's difficult to find the change within pattern, because we need to look into the information that really old information, like it is a old computer, very old computer. So I understand that you may mention only intermediate holding capacity of storage and like without graphical user interface. I think that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Next gonna be Mantura. Am I pronounced your name correctly? Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's Kino. Okay.
Can I share my screen now?
Yeah. And I think you could skip the persistent that is common for the pattern, and also skip the chain within patterns. Just present the last slide or the slide of a pattern. What are the patterns and what caused the chain within between pattern?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it sharing now?
I can see it now.
Okay. So let me start my presentation. The title that I chose for this presentation is the automobiles, and here is the second slide. I categorize my work into three patterns due to the period of time. The first period is the 18th to 19th century, in which the steam combustion vehicles was first invented. And then the second one is in 20th century, where gasoline diesel vehicles came into place. And the last one is in 21st century, where electronic vehicles were become more popular and popular. So the steam combustion vehicles, the changes to steam combustion vehicles to from from steam combustion vehicles to the gasoline vehicles is because we can see it here. The efficiency and power of the gasoline diesel vehicles are more efficient. So, and then the faster startup, the versatility, and the development in infrastructure, and it's way more convenient to use the gasoline and diesel vehicles. So, and there are other factors like the technological advancements and other economic considerations. So those are the factors that change the steam combustion vehicles into gasoline and diesel vehicles. And the factors that change the gasoline and diesel vehicles into electronic vehicles is like EVs are more environmental friendly, and like technological integration and the smart features are like become more advanced in late 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 20th century and this early 21st century. And other technologies like the battery technology and the charging infrastructure are becoming more advanced and advanced. So these are the factors that change the pattern B to C. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kino. I think you provide many examples for each pattern of your work. So I think it's help when we identify the chain within patterns and also identify what create the new pattern. I think this is clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next gonna be the next person. Maybe let me look at my slide here. Ogre.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Today I'm gonna talking about my presentation is about the evolution of camera. So let's get started about it. In this slide, we can see the different type and the category of the different side of camera. So I will show how it was changes and how it is gonna be and how the history of the camera. In the first pattern, there is state about the Thailand of the camera. In the earlier state of the camera, we can see it about the Asian camera category. So it have the same pattern is like that. Is a pulse, and is a single hole to pass through the light into it. So the common and the recurring characteristic in this pattern is like that. They are using the optical preserver in all there are three category, but the changes within pattern is like that. Each of them uses different process and different material. How means different process is like to the how to take the photo and how to make the thing. In this one, it was used the dark room, the first photo. It's only the dark room and only a single hole. There's no other. And then when the light passes through it, we can see the picture. But many years later, the principle was upgraded. So we can they use silver coated copper material in this to become more how can I say that more easier and to get photo. And then the next one is the paper coated with silver iron, so we can get the photo quicker and easier. So in this the first pattern, they are struggling about how to get a photo and how to make the photography principle more. In the second one, they trying to like everyone can take photo, everyone can learn and everyone can make photography. That's why they focus on the portability. So it can be seen like that it's bigger and bigger, but it's smaller. But in this one, they're using fins. This fin technology is emerged at the time. So the common and recurring characteristic within pattern is like accessibility and convenient photography is became popular. And then there are changes within pattern is like the is portability and the control and the gratification is in this one. We can see like this only the cubic part, and then they are becoming more smaller and the user-friendly feature in this one. And the last slide is like that the digital camera are emerged at that time. And so we can get But at the early century, you can get only black and white photo, but in the later, we can get the colorful and more HD quality. So the camera is they are evolving like that way. But the changes within pattern is like that we can connect everything like computer and the Bluetooth via the another device. And this form factor is like this more beautiful and the more easier. So the form factor is like that, and the user experience is only one click and we can get a photo. Now there's a changes within this pattern. And in this pattern, we can filter or create a new pattern from this to this. In this way, they are only focus on the process and how to get the material. But in the second pattern, they use like the widely accessible and user-friendly device at the time. So that they and usually focus on the portable camera. From the pattern B to pattern C, they make a different changes. The things to the digital camera is the most technological advancements at that time. And then the interface design, and it make the more accessible to the broader audience. At that time, only the 60% of the population can use this camera, but in the later and 21st century, everyone can use the camera nowadays. So this diagram shows the changes. At the first time, the Asian camera is like that. Only the dark brown and Singapore they discovered the light principle to how to get the photographer. So they changes to the pattern between camera. So it's affordable, the user-friendly and widely accessible. Before earlier the Asian camera. But the next pattern, but the digital camera is like the technology advancements, and we can get the fully quality, and then only one click, and then we can get a colorful camera. That's all. This is my presentation of today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Oker, for your presentation. I think it is clear picture on different pattern of the camera, and also you search the picture that can help us to understand like what is the ancient camera is. So I think it's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next gonna be Hai Wen Ung.
Hello,
Henley, right?
can you hear
yeah.
me?
Yeah, Anna. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I think from now you guys could skip the column, the constant element exhibit common thread, and skip the chain within pattern. I will look into it by myself, but you could present identify of your patterns and also what create a new pattern. When you're ready, you could start.
Okay, can we skip like changes within a pattern and like constant elements?
No,
Like command traits? No?
Skip the common thread. Yeah. Common thread and the change. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Heng Wen Ong, and you can call me Danny. And today I'm going to present the pattern of watches. So first of all, it starts at 16th century where mechanical watches are invented. So to be exact, like it uses a clockwork mechanism composed of the spring and screws, gears, and plates. So there are also some changes in the pattern, like first screws are added and glass protection are also presented. and a minute hand was added later, and they're getting smaller and smaller, and they become portable later. And at first they were just produced one by one, but later they enter into mass production. So before coming to electronic digital watches, so why does it create a new pattern? So it kind of needs like maintenance to be exact, and like time is not accurate for mechanical watches because it relies on like crafting skills and like watchmaking skills to be exact. So and there are also like wear and tear that can occur in the gears and springs of mechanical watches. And another fact is that they are like they have more weight than digital watches. So that's why digital watches are more like useful and starting from 20th century. So electronic digital watches use LED or LCD screen to display time. So LCD is like so the difference between LCD and LED is like LED uses diodes and LCD uses fluorescent light. So maybe the difference between them is the type of light used. So there are also some changes in the pattern of electronic digital watches. So first of all, like LCD screens are introduced, and then like LED, which has a better quality, are introduced into the market. And there are also like calculators, which are added as a feature for digital watches to make it more useful. And the battery, for the battery, like solar power is later invented to use it as a better option. Like so, and also some other features are added to make it more useful and useful, like alarms, timers, stopwatches, and nighttime visibility. So there are also some facts that that creates a new pattern, like smartwatches in the 21st century, because digital watches do not have a touch screen mostly, and they do not have several features and functions compared with smartwatches. So smartwatches became handy starting from the 21st century. For the smartwatches, they use digital displays mostly, and they have lots of features compared to a typical digital watch. So the changes in the pattern of smartwatches are like they can be used to download like music apps and other useful apps, and they can also be used to synchronize with smartphones, and they're also useful for keeping track of health and fitness status of users. And so these are some useful facts and useful changes in the pattern of smartwatches. So I think that's all for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny. I think you provide clear patterns of different evolution of the watch, and I think it's clear explanation. Only please turn in the LEB2 as well. Yeah, I think you maybe finish it, but you didn't turn in the LEB2.
Oh, I forgot to
Yeah,
post
yeah.
on here.
Okay.
I even sent you an email about the these
Right,
attachments. Yeah, but
right.
I forgot to upload it on LE too. Yeah. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. Um, next gonna be, let's see. Who's next? Let's see, let me take a look at the sheet.
Yeah, I think that's me.
You, right? Okay.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I saw it now.
Okay. Can you also clearly hear my voice, or do I need to change things?
I can hear you clearly. Mm.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna start my presentation. Before I start my presentation, should I, there is any, topic should I skip for the, presentation?
Yeah, I think you could skip the constant element, exhibit a common trait, and show recurrence, and also skip change. Yeah, only the other part to present.
Okay, so is it same like the previous person? Like only the identifying pattern and it creates a new pattern, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, great. So, all right. Hello everyone. My name is Alice. So I'm gonna present you about the evolution of robotic system. So I'm not so sure how many of you guys are like robotic keys or things. I am the robotic keys since I was around, age 10. So I know a lot of things about robots. So here I'm gonna explain you how we, identify these robotic patterns and what create new changes between different eras in robotic system. So right before the 19th century, 20th century, which is the evolution, which is just right before the evolution of electronics and computer stuff, a lot of people rely on mechanical system like mechanical automation. And the idea here, the idea of creating robot is to you make things autonomous, to make humans walk easily in different environments. So this is our objective. Our objective is to make things automate and create a simple stuff. So here's the just right before the evolution of the computers, we have like mechanical solution to we automate things mechanically. So we create a lot of simple machines with simple mechanisms, things like that. And that drawback is that we only have analog system and we lack of a lot of computation power. Don't get me wrong, we still have computation power, but it's all depends on like mechanical system and our brain, human brain, because back in the day, human brain is the main computer system of all stuff. So in 1930s, early in around 1930s, or let's say in early 20th century, there's a things called electronic stuff that's popped up in around the globe. So we call it like electronic evolution. We have people's so work hard on the creating the new computer system, which we now know as the computers. So these actually boost the technology of robotic system because robot relies on autonomous. So as you see, the evolution of robots make things a lot of easier. Like we create a lot of mechanical automation system, things like mechanical system that is implemented with electronic stuff. Let's say it's like DC motor or stuff. So these are the foundation of our modern robot system. So what creates a new pattern between these two different eras? The thing is that we have like autonomous. Back in the days, we only relied on mechanical system. We only relied on the limited computation power, such as the analog computation. Most of the power resources relied on steam technology, or either steam technology or the natural resources such as like water or things like that. and most of the texts are kind of repetitive, and they are very lack in adaptability. But in early 1930s and things started change, like we have evolution of electronic devices which revolutionized in the autonomous system. Like we create a lot of electromagnetic system, electromagnetic component related devices. So as you can see, back in the day, we have like Yokohama, mechanical robotic arms, or things like that. These are all based on a lot of you know DC based motors, and we have a lot of things such as uh, robots that based on programming logic technology, and there's computational power that relies solely on the very huge head drive and the memory system. So these are the that creates a new pattern between these two different eras. But the significant changes between these early this mid 20th century and the 21st century is that a lot of scientists and engineers work so hard on the artificial intelligence system, because the goal of the robot, the goal of this system is to make things easier, to make everything autonomous. So we are trying to do research. A lot of scientists and engineers try to find a solution in autonomous system. So we thanks to this efforts in the early 21st century, we discovered a lot of intelligent autonomous system, and which is like human robot interaction. So well, technically this is the 21st century is overall the age of the AI. So a lot of robots now rely on fine-tuning algorithms of the robotic systems and stuff like that. So basically that create a new pattern, creates a new pattern in this century is that we develop a lot of the AI based robotic system, like machine learning robotic system or the deep learning, etc. We create the sensors. Back in the day, there is very few sensor. We can work on like huge ultrasonic sensor or things like that. But in this early century, in this 21st century, we create a lot of advanced sensor, which is like LiDAR. LiDAR is more like laser detecting sensor, which map the environment or things like that. It is the main source of autonomous system in the self-driving cars. So we apply a lot of collaborative robots. So if you are the key, robotic enthusiast, you might probably know that there's a lot of swarm of robots that are working in the garage of the let's say the warehouse of the Amazon or things like that. And we have a lot of at his computational power, and the most important thing is that miniaturization of the robotic systems, and everything is naturally shift from the mechanical system to computational power in this 21st century, because we develop a lot of mechanical system back in the day. So what we should do right now is the computation of the system. So this 21st century is mostly based on technology. New technology is mostly based on this computational power. And another thing is that we develop, since we develop a lot of advanced sensor, advanced intelligent robot system. What we now focus is also part of the safety, because safety is kind of important. There's a lot of news that say about robot kill human. Actually, robot doesn't kill human. Safety, careless instruction kill human. So that is why a lot of engineers and staffs work so hard on the safety system. And since the 21st century is still ongoing, we still exploring new emerging technologies in a robotic system. So here's are the significant changes of the robotic system before 21st century, before 20th century, before evolution of electronics. We solely rely on the electronic system. We solely rely on magnetic system. And in the mid of the 20th century, due to the the evolution of the electronics, computing stuff, we started rely on a a lot of mechanical-based electronic systems such as like electromechanical system, programmable logic controllers, etc. And in this 21st century, we now focus on the AI, sensors technology, sensor calibrations, and we now is working so hard on the computational power and miniaturization. So this is the end of my presentation. So to sum up, everything is all about the evolution of robotic system. In the future, we still don't know what's gonna change in robotic system. Maybe they will become our friendly robots, or maybe even robots like Skynet, or who knows, right? So this is it. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Alex, for your presentation and insight into the development of the robotic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next gonna be Ong Moi Lin.
Yes.
At the bottom to make full screen, I think, or you could.
Sorry, yeah, I'm not quite how do I.
Sure, maybe the left one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay,
Sorry.
that's work.
Okay. Okay, so my analysis is about phones. So we have basically three generations of phones. The first one is from 1930s, where the very first phone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. All the way to around 1970, which is the last picture here, which is kind of like the telephones we have in our homes back in the days. And then we have the next generation, which started from 1984, which was the Motorola, this very first mobile phone, all the way to around 2006 of the era of like BlackBerry keypad phones. And then beginning from 2007, we have the iconic very first iPhone all the way to current, which is our smartphones that we're using right now. So those three are like the kind of generations that I kind of classified into. So for the very first pattern, it's basically the description is basically early versions of wired telephones. So the main part is that it is wired. And so for the second pattern is from 1984 to 2006, which are the start of mobile phones. So all the way from the very first mobile phone to like the Blackberries and around the 2000 eras of keypad phones. And so the pattern, so what created this new pattern is because telephones we could only use at home. And so for better portability, because we needed to, I guess, call each other, not just from our homes, but also maybe outside when we're outside. So for better portability and also just more convenient of use. So telephones, if you looked at it, are very hard to use. You'll have to like circle the dial again and again to get just one number. And for mobile phone, it's quite easy. It's in the palm of your hand, so it's very convenient. And also, as mobile phones start to advance a little bit and advance a lot, there were more capabilities and functions also. For example, BlackBerry phones started having internet connections where you can send emails. And not only that, they also started having cameras and a lot of other things. So it included a lot more capabilities. And the last pattern is smartphones that we're all aware of and have right now. So the pattern, what created this new pattern is basically, uh, there's only so much we can do with a keypad. And so it's quite limited to our keypad. So the touch screen was the invention that changed, that revolutionized phones. And so with touchscreen, we can not only just do text-based things, we can also do some interactive things like swiping or touch or basically anything that our imagination can imagine. So we wanted more functionality and also more versatility. So we added touch screens, and I think the size still stayed the same. We just removed the keypad and kind of enlarged the screen. And so by enlarging the screen, we also had more area for content consumption, because keypad phones, if you know, have very tiny little screens that were honestly very hard to read. So our screens got bigger and bigger, and it becomes easier to enjoy content or maybe even like text. And also due to the advancement of chips and basically technology, hardware, both hardware and software, smartphones are now kind of like an everyday item that almost anyone from any class can afford. So back in the days, phones like Blackberries were only like used by businessmen or like people who can afford it. But now, even the most advanced smartphones can be afforded by anyone. So basically, people wanted to use phones more, like more people wanted to use phones. And so that need for wider accessibility kind of produced this new generation of smartphones. Okay, so for pattern A is basically wired phone using wired landline networks to call, and it can only call within a limited range, and it can only do one function of calling. And so the irregularity is that the telephone was stationary and it cannot be portable. So that was the main weakness of the wired telephone. So the mobile phone was invented with just the numpads at first, but then it grew to have more functions with keyboards and cameras that fixed the problem of portability. And so mobile phones with pattern B is mobile phones with keypads and keyboards with a small form factor that allows for you to have a wide range of mobility and also cellular connection, so that you can connect to the internet, not just within your network, but also probably throughout the entire world. You can connect with anyone. And so the irregularity is that mobile phones still have limited functionality, and it was okay and only just barely good enough to get the job done. And so it was a workhorse, so you can really push it, but it was very uncomfortable to use it. So smartphones were invented with touchscreens to make it easier to use, to make it much more convenient to use, and basically just made it like an entertainment device rather than just a workhorse that we use for our work or just for a few things like calling and emailing. So now we as humans, we use smartphones for basically almost everything. So that's one of the main reasons why we created the smartphones, to use the phone for more things. And the last pattern is basically smartphones with larger and larger touch screens with better and better cameras, and also being used for several tasks, not just phone calling and emailing, but now we play games, we watch social media, TikToks, so basically everything. So yeah, that's about it for my presentation, and thank you.
Thank you, Henley. I think it's a clear explanation on the phone history and development. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Ismail.
Good day. I hope you can see my screen clearly.
Yes,
Okay. So,
not really clear, but it's okay. I will
Alright.
listen to your presentation. Mm.
okay, so I'm going to make presentation about the evolution of video games console. So the first pattern talks about the Meganav Box Odyssey, Pong, and Coleco Tolster. It was released in 1972 to 1980. So it was the first video console game that was released, and it was digitally. It was operated with hand, and the user interface is poor, not graphically like the modernized one today. And then the second one, which is Nintendo Systems, Sega, and Atari 780, they were actually a bit modernized from the first one, which we can see it was improved with graphics, innovative controllers, and it was played digitally with a controller pad. So the main difference between the first pattern and the second pattern is the first pattern was with analog, which we all know it's involves the use of physical features like hand, and the second one involves the use of digital with technology, advanced technology. Then the third pattern also was with digital, but it was of much modernized features, which is to date, like the PS5, the Xbox. They are the recent games that was released with a lot of features like you can play online games, you can connect with someone who is in another country and play online. So this was the difference between the third pattern and the second pattern. The third pattern was much more advanced. There were more technology that was introduced in the third pattern, like visual reality, online games, and so on and so forth. Then we can see the diagram clearly shows the causes of changes from the picture. The pattern A was the first game consoles of which lacked modern technological concepts and high graphical features, olden days user game experience. While the pattern B brought a new phase of the console, video games with advanced gaming experience, that is digitally from the analog video games console. And the pattern C was just a much more advanced feature from the pattern B. So this was what I decided to present it. The main reason of this presentation is that we can clearly see from the pattern A how it started like in an olden day way, in the analog way, features with the involvement of hands. Then it came to the second pattern with the involvement of digital technology. Then the third pattern with a more advanced technology that was introduced in it. And a common elements that keep repeating was they all have memory storage. They all had power supply, and they had input and output where you can insert some things. For example, the controller pad, and you can remove it, and you can put on your CD that you can play the game. And they all had peripheral connectivity. This is what I was talking about, the input and output. They had peripheral connectivity, something you can put and remove. Then they all had covering cases. That is, they were all covered to avoid maybe damage or water splash on it. So that's the end of my presentation, and I hope we can clearly see the pattern of changes from my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ismail. Yeah, I can see the change of beginning of our game console to the nowadays one, I have some question for the common thread, right? So you list 5 common thread of all 3 patterns.
Yeah.
Is there or are there any additional to the common thread? For example, only pattern 2, Nintendo system, Sega. Is there anything add on to the first one?
Like additional
The
common
only,
threads?
yeah, additional common thread. I mean, only second pattern. Is
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, there is. Should I mention the common threads?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else beside these 5 points that you list out?
Yeah, there is. Apart from having memory storage, they have this motherboard that we have in computers that like stores and like is the main what do I call it? It's like the main source of power that holds the settings of all the game.
Okay. And how about the third one?
Yeah, the third one. Yeah.
I would think it would be probably graphic card that higher resolution for
Yeah.
this pattern. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ismail. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Next gonna be Vikas.
Yes, Professor.
We are behind.
I will
Yeah,
share my screen.
we behind. Yeah, we behind of time, so I suggest you to present concisely. Okay.
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 Wait. So this is my my topic, transportation on land. This is revolution of vehicles transportation, like in past years to in that time, how to be a revolution. And my starting topic is describe about the my time period about the vehicles, like middle age is 500 to 1500 CE, and the 15th century to 17th century we using a horse-drawn wagon, like we not be using like manufacturing car, so we using a animal to mode of transportation to one place to go another place. And second is that my steam power vehicle is late 18th century to early 19th century, because that time we using steam engine power of cars vehicles, like we using like some coal and fuel and using a combustion of the air. And then we after the 19th century will be in the entry level, like starting early of 19th century will be some cars manufacturer coming, like Ford, Renault, and Mercedes and Benz car brands will be coming to manufacturing the cars. And early 20th century to emerge of automobile vehicles, like 21st century, like these centuries will become like automotive cars, electric cars, and AI based cars will become. And then we use like easily to transportation, and more technology and more hybrid cars are there. and more functionality, and easily to go from mode of transportation from one place to another. And identifiers is both the context of the element exhibit common traits, like in both periods land of transportation of animal power, and land vehicles play an important role in facility and trade of commerce, because they be using a transportation for trade and commerce, not for people go for, because the engine steam power vehicle used for mostly carrying a luggage from one place to another place to go for. And both the periods saw a significant innovation, population, technology, and both periods have witnessed significant investment in infrastructure to supports, like investments in infrastructure to support. And both period witness of significance, like infrastructure supports new transportation of technology. In both periods of you can buy your own private vehicles. In the last you see that 20th century to automatic 21st century, we use buying own car, because that time in the past year we have no buying our own cars, like is a public transportation we using. In 19th century we have like a public vehicles and we not be sitting on there, but some early 19th century there's making a like a bus, some transportation to go from human from one place to another, but there is a only some peoples are restricted to sitting there. So changes is that about the social novelty of restrictions, travel from the common people was challenging due to lack of infrastructure, road and conditions, and improve the development of construction, railway, canals, and facility long distance transportation and trade. And in 19th century, there are 4 people who can travel easily, but not for a long distance, because the vehicle will be not be a good to support it to go from one place to another place. There's only short distance traveling, and vehicles will be support like a fuel and engines like a not be a good transportation, but just like steam engines to internal combustion engines and steam power vehicles like we're using. And then after changes, people can travel and easily from one place to another. There is no restriction of the 20th century. And we using like hybrid cars and automotive cars to use from the advance in batteries technology and leading to the development of particular and efficient electric cars. So we can easily go from one place to another, and we can comfortably zone to sitting in the car vehicle and we go from one place to another. And what's the create a new pattern? I think from A to B, the creation of transportation patterns resulted from combination of technology, innovation, because this time of innovations, like how to be goods vehicle will be manufacturing, and development from using animal to steam engine cars, like we not be using from animal, we using some manufacturing car, and that time will be more development of this time. And from B to C, economic growth, like there's some hybrid cars are also there, and then we creating growth, urbanization, challenges in lifestyles, and transportation evolution from the demand of faster trades, and efficiency of good and transport and modern era focus on personal mobility, globalization, and vehicle are fast, easily to go from one place to another. Because this time is like a super fast cars, luxury cars, and electric cars, AI cars. So there's so many cars, and whatever you think about that, this you easily and comfort zone to go from like one place to go another place. And there's a about the functions about that, about my like and this is my irregularity of like that the vehicle that where we use for the carrying a luggage, just I'm told you in before before slide, used for carrying luggage only after did hybrid cars start from being made and could go from one place to another. And new electric and automotive cars are which come which is sweep and placed after another in short time, and also premium calls are available and with the comfort zone. And that's my presentation.
Okay, thank you, because
Thank you, Professor.
okay, you're welcome. You observe many change within the pattern, so it's in detail. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Next gonna be Kritabun. Are you here? Kritabun, not sure whether he is here because he did not submit on LB2. I'm not sure whether he
I'm support.
He
I'm
was
not sure.
retired.
he was retired. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. I will take a note. Then next gonna be Kitsanathon. From Kitsanathon and so on, I suggest you guys to skip 2 columns when present. Okay, you could present your last slide, the slide that have irregularity. Yeah.
เรื่องอะไรครับอาจารย์
ได้เลยค่ะ
People have been inventing coding since the Stone Age as for pattern 20 that will be uncertainty about the time because each period has inventions that are not at the same time. Some page create of it faster, some create of it more slowly, but the main idea of second pattern is writing it to separate classes. In the past from pattern A, the only one reason people wore codes was to protect themselves from the cold. Use natural material that are easily available to make clothes such as animal skin and leaf. And the next animal skin became harder to find and high weight, so people had to find other way to make clothes. That is, made clothing made from code in the past were expensive because it's difficult to make. Only the upper class had access to clothing. In some countries, law have been drafted to prevent the lower class from wearing the same clothes as the upper class. In this time, people wear clothes to indicate their class and status. Or in the present pattern C, technology came along and abolition of custom-made clothing cheaper and accessible to anyone, and there was an exchange of culture allowing youth to see clothes from many countries until the origin of the world fashion. Fashion generally refers to a prevailing trend or style in clothing. It is a form of self-expression and culture manifestation that refer the current taste, preference, and social status of a particular group or society at large. Fashion encompasses a wide range of elements, including design, color, even the way items are worn or combined is a dynamic and ever-evolving concept influenced by various factors such as culture, history, technology, and individual creativity. Additionally, fashion can also be a means of communication, identity, and culture expression. That's all.
Thank you, Kitsanathon. I think it's more than we think. Maybe you could go back 1 slide so your classmate can see example of different patterns. Yeah. So we can see the development and you combine like globally. Okay. Thank you, Kitsanathon. Next gonna be Kantapon.
Okay, can you see the slides now?
Yes, I can.
So you want me to skip 2 columns, right? The common traits and the change.
Yes.
Okay. So the first pattern is an arcade game playing in the store. As you can see, the console is very large and it's It's the rules and physics are very simple. The second pattern should be smaller console, and you don't have to go to the store. It can play at you can play it at home. You can play it anywhere you want because the console is getting smaller. And the last pattern is that it is the high tech with high resolution and very convenient to play. In this pattern, the technology goes very far, and you have a very high resolution game and a very complex game. So let's look at what's create new patterns here. So from the arcade game playing at the store to a smaller console, the reason is that the release of the Magnavox Odyssey, which was the world's first commercial console, it makes people start playing game at their place. You can imagine it's like the PlayStation. It's connect the CPU with your screens. Yeah. And the second one is the invasion of the internet. It makes the games connected to the people online. The third one is the advance in microchips. Fourth one is the advance in the monitors, and the fifth one is the influence of cartoons and novel characters. It influence in the, as you can see, the example is like Zelda. Zelda is influenced by Peter Pan from Disney. And what's what shift the smaller console don't have to go to store to the high-tech console with highly resolution is that the advancement in microchips, the advancement in monitors, the advancement in personal computers, the advancement of smartphones, the advance in graphical cards. This this one is quite important, the graphical cards, because it's the things that makes the games run very fast. And the last reason is some people seek a more challenging game. Yeah. So that's it. This is the shift, but I just rearrange it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kantapon. It
Okay.
is clear presentation. Mm,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Paravi, are you here? Paravi. Oh, not here. First, I thought she gonna join. No, huh? Okay.
มัน
In that case,
มัน
Paravi here.
มัน
Here?
โอ๊ยเดี๋ยว sorry.
ไม่เป็นไร in that case, for the first group, you don't have to stay until the end, okay? But if you want, you can, okay? I will start the second group from Jiratanut.
Yes.
จิรัตน์อ่านถูกไหมเนี่ย โอเคค่ะ เริ่มได้ค่ะ ขออภัยนะถ้าอ่านผิด
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see now.
I just start on slide 2, right?
Yes, just present.
So
Yeah.
my patterns that I'm gonna show this time is about the airplanes usage, right? I diverge into 3 patterns right now. Is the civilian transport, cargo transport, and military transport. So the changes in civilian transport is that it can be any type of engines. It can be propulsion, it can be jet. It doesn't have to be always jet because the civilian transport, they are privately owned and publicly, I mean corporation owned. There will be individuals that like to travel with the plane, or the businessmen travel with private jet. Cargo plane can be both propulsion and jet also, but it's more like a corporation owned. It's not about the individually owned because of its massive size that it cannot be individually owned. And the military aircraft is most definitely not an individually owned. It's mostly for protecting a nation and sovereign space to deter the enemies from us entering or traveling. So what creates a new pattern from civilian to cargo is that civilian and cargo are mainly used for transport, but in different ways. the civilian mostly used to travel for people, but in modern recently they have started to combine both aspects of the planes together to, like an example of the civilian airliners using the upper part of the plane for carrying people and underbelly for carrying cargo, for example. And from cargo to military, both sides are lacking amenities for it to focus on speed and carrying the load. So the irregularity is that from civilian to cargo is that the different site in and different purpose, and most cargo are more larger than civilian. From cargo to military, the irregularity is that the size and their speed and their purpose are different. The military aircraft are focused on speed more than the load. Thank you. This the reference.
Thank you, Jiratana, for your presentation regarding the aircraft usage, okay, and development. Thank you. Next gonna be Jirapat ค่ะ
Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I make the evolution of note taking. I have divided in 3 parts. The first part is about the use natural material large scales, and the next part is small scale and use the natural material. And the last one is about use technology materials. And the identify patterns. The pattern, the first one is about the use material, large, heavy, and cannot move easily. But some item cannot move, like the conical, like the constant element used in the record is about the use recording, immobility, and use stone mainly. What changed in the pattern? The pattern used the first is large to move and it took long time to record. The next one, the small scales. The small scale use the different material for easy to record, and it can move able now. And what changed to the next one? The last one is about the technology materials. Technology material is used to reduce some material that use and waste in the earth, and for more comprehensive for the use that have the function to develop our work to more specific in some work that need to more color or more specific to take note. And the next one is the irregularity. The conclusion that the first one to the second one is the material. The difference from the first one to the second one is just the scales and use the same materials. So it's too large to move, so that take a long time to record. And the last one is about the different materials, and it's more comprehensive for the use for the new era. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, ค่ะ Jiratana. Very good. We have a better understand in the pattern of the note taking. Next gonna be Shayada ค่ะ
Hello, hi.
ค่ะ
Okay, so the pattern that I want to analyze today is console game, which was different from like those PC games because console game mostly are in like a box, like a console. So the first period of time, it's this Odyssey, I would say, like I don't really know how to pronounce it exactly. So Pong and like Atari, it was like around 19 16 to like 1980, and then there was Super Famicom, Sega Mega Drive, or like Famicom around like 1980 to 1990, and from 2000 to now, like those Xbox 360, PS4, PS5, or Nintendo Switch. Wait, okay. So those from 19th century, it's like a fixed console. The reason why I identify it like this because you cannot move it anywhere. It's like super like not portable at all. Especially the Pong's one. It's just like arcade game. Like you cannot move at all. And then move to the next, like around 1980s centuries, it's retro gaming console. The reason why I give it retro gaming because it's like a quite OG stereotype of console gaming back in the day, like 90th century, like those retro looking console like this. The change from early fixed console to retro gaming is that in every fixed console, mostly of them provide an 8-bit graphics and sounds and really limited memory. With analog input, like in retro gaming, there is HDMI output. Sorry, that's why the graphic and the sound it's quite a lot better because they change types of output. And from retro gaming to vertical port console. The reason why I identify it as vertical portable console because most of the console around this age, it's all vertical looking like from 360, PS4, PS5, or any other console, it's all vertical. The change from B to C from retro gaming to vertical portable console. Firstly, it's better CPU and GPU with built-in monitor like Nintendo Switch here. Like before, you need to integrated monitors to the console, but from Nintendo Switch, you have built-in monitors. And since the GPU and CPU, it's a lot more better, the gaming experience has like shifted from home-oriented gaming to versatile gaming console. The irregularity from early fixed console to retro gaming, as I mentioned before, since every fixed console has really limited memory, and they change it to better GPU and extensive memory, so it's become retro gaming console. And from retro gaming console with integrated monitor to built-in monitor, it's a vertical port console and like better GPU. It's overall improving the gaming experience. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my presentation.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation, Shayada, and I feel you provide clear observation of the change within pattern and also the factor that create new pattern. Thank you. Next gonna be Chavisa ค่ะ Chavisa อยู่ไหมนะ
อยู่ค่ะ
อยู่นะโอเค
อาจารย์เห็นสไลด์หนูไหมคะ
ค่ะมาแล้วค่ะ เดี๋ยวเราข้าม2คอลัมน์เนอะแล้วก็เป็นแค่อธิบายในส่วน factor create new pattern เลยเนาะว่าเรามี pattern อะไรด้วยค่ะ
โอเคค่ะ
ค่ะ
Start with the identify pattern A. They're using the force of human hands several steps to start a fire, like hacking stores, bending wood, and identify the pattern B. They have many options to contain the light, using fuels such as wax and fat for burning, like animal fat or vegetable oil and gas. And identify pattern C, it has electricity repeat fields. There are many different type and color of lights to choose from. Illumination is efficient. Was create a new patterns in pattern A to pattern B. Is beginning the birth of two paraffin candles were made from paraffin wax, making candle more popular and lighting in homes. Humans take too much time and effort. Invention to steel container to contain frames and create a new with pattern B to pattern C. Thomas Edison, the first person to patent the invention of light bulbs. Entry of electricity console the danger of burning. And this is diagram for the illumination of
Thank you for your presentation, Sharissa. Yeah, we can see the development of the illumination. Yeah, and we care more about safety as well. So we want to contain the fire within the equipment. Yeah, thank you. Next gonna be Tita Pa ค่ะ
อาจารย์เห็นหน้าจอไหมคะ
มาแล้วค่ะ
โอเคค่ะ In pattern A, have a black and white televisions. It have a large size and the screen is a very small. In pattern B, have a color but it not clear and not full color. And from year 1998 to now, I have a digital TV. What a new pattern A from B had developed a system that can display color images and has made television smaller and more convenient to use than before. From pattern B to C, the size has been adjusted to make the scale larger and the device weight less, making it easier to move and develop a transmission system that is clear and less disturbed, has a beautiful design, save more space in the home, is comfortable and forgot on uses. And this is diagram to change pattern A, B to C.
Thank you ค่ะ Tita ค่ะ Before you close it, I'm gonna discuss a little bit the chain within pattern in the table. The objective is to identify the chain. For example, pattern A. What are the chain within pattern A? For example, from your photos, I could see that they develop different shape of monitor, for example, or they could use different material for the frame. So that's an example of some of the chain. Yeah, maybe you could explain a little bit more here. Like for example, on the pattern 2, what could be the chain that you have been researched on? เข้าใจไหม คือในแพทเทิร์นสมมตินะในแพทเทิร์นที่2มีอะไรที่มันเปลี่ยนแปลงไปไหมเฉพาะแพทเทิร์นที่2อย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
The skill is square, but pattern one is circle.
Yeah, then for the first one, right? How about the second pattern? Do you know? I don't know, like maybe there is a stand and without stand
It's
or
smaller
something.
than pattern one. Have a heavy more than pattern 3.
Okay. Actually, for that column, it is to compare only its own pattern. For example, compare within pattern 2 yeah, what are the change? Yeah, so, yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Let's next gonna be นัทวดีค่ะ
อันนี้เห็นไหม
เห็นแล้วค่ะ
โอเค So the pattern that I choose, what about the clock? I separate the pattern by the operation and the appearance of the clock. We will start at the first pattern. Is emerged since 1200 before centuries. I identify this pattern as natural element-based clock because this pattern is rely on natural elements such as sand, light, water, like this sandal clock, this water clock, and the size of the clock are often large. But the problem of this pattern is not the precise time measurement, and in day and night, it must use the different type of clock. So what's create new pattern? This pattern need more precise and standard way to measure times, and this pattern limit the time to use a clock in day and night, and it provide more. It need more clearly time telling, so it's create the second pattern is mechanical clock. I identify this pattern as mechanical clock because it's driven by a mechanical mechanism and have circular phases divided into 12 hours. Use hand to indicate the hour and minutes. And what's created new pattern from B to C is need a clear and easy to read more than the hand clock like this, like arrow. And next is the digital clock. I identify the digital clock because it's driven by an electronic components and use the digital display technologies to display the digits to easy to read. And in this pattern, the third pattern is more featured than the previous clock and easy to read more than the previous clock. This is a diagram show the change of the three pattern. Okay, that's all of my presentation.
Thank you ค่ะ นัทวดี similar comment. The chain within pattern, the objective actually to identify the chain within the same pattern. For example, for the first pattern, for the sundial clock, it can be used only like during the sunlight, having the sunlight. But then there could be other type of clock in order to use when there is no sunlight, for example, that are the chain within the pattern. Yeah. Okay. Could you provide maybe example of chain within pattern 2, the mechanical clock?
Chain within pattern is in this
Yeah,
form.
Yeah.
Like this is a alarm clock. Is like some clock and not have an alarm like this one.
Okay. ค่ะ Okay. Thank you ค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ค่ะนัทธนาค่ะ
ฮัลโหลครับ
ค่ะ
Hello.
รอนานเลยขออภัยอืม
แป๊บนึงนะครับ
ค่ะ
เอ่อแป๊บนึงครับมันแชร์จอไม่ได้
อืมอาจจะต้องโหลดไฟล์ออกมาถ้าเกิดใช้เป็นไฟล์อืม
ขึ้นยังครับ
ขึ้นแล้วค่ะ
My pattern is about the watch, about the hand watch. So I divide it into the three parts. Wait, I divide it into the three parts. The first one is the analog watch. All of them use the mechanical and run without the electronic. By using the principle of mechanism and pendulum, the constant elements that every analog watch have is it's used mechanical and it's heavy and have a clock hand and have a durable left hand. So the change within pattern is the different in watch face features, such as some of them can be a stopwatch or like the mechanism to make it on time, or some of them might have the transparent mechanism, transparent watch face to show the mechanism. The second one is the digital watch. The digital watch use the electronic stuff and battery to power them instead of mechanism, and their body mostly made out of plastic, or some of them made out of the aluminum. The constant element is they're using battery, having the screen, using the electrical, and having water and dust resistant. Most of them are the sport watch that are different in size, battery life, weight, and feature in sport mode. Examples, some of them have a compass and have the water and dust resistant. Like some of them have can be the diving watch. You can deep dive into the 200 meters. The third one is the smartwatch. They focus on the health of the wearer because it has a lot of sensor to track your health and can use it as a second phone. You can reply the message, or you can listen to music or control the music by your watch. So it have a lot of features. The constant element is the having a battery, having a screen, using the electrical stuff and they have a sensor and have a health tracking and have a customized watch face and band, or having the application for tracking your health or display your health. Change between pattern is the different customization in watch or screen size and features, which can connect to the smartphone to answering the phone call or listening to the music. Or some of them might have a sensor to track all your health as a blood pressure or heart rate or like a O2 in your blood. This is diagram to show the change. The irregularity from the pattern A to pattern B is because the analog watch was required to use the mechanical. Then they come with a heavy weight and not practical so much. So and the way that you seeing the time and at your wrist of the analog watch was quite difficult when it compared to the digital watch. And the irregularity from the pattern B to C, which is the digital watch to smartwatch. Nowadays, the health trend for wearable quite very popular in our society. It's some of you guys might using the watch to track out your health along to the exercise. So they made it lighter and more practical and having the sensor more durable and have the screen to display the stuff or the things that you want to know. So that's it from my presentation.
Okay You have Nathana, no? Okay. I
Ah.
think you like focus on different type of watch. Yeah, like deep focus deeper. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
From Tirawat and so on, please skip the common thread and the chain within pattern, okay? Because we are running very late now. Yeah.
ข้ามคอลัมน์เลยใช่ไหม Okay, so hello everyone. Today I'm gonna present about of change in pattern with a vehicle. So for the common, so I separate the three way that is the first one is the animal vehicle, and the second one is the driver force to make it drive, and the third one is vehicle that use engine to drive. And for the common in the first one is that is contain a animal to be a vehicle like such as a horse, buffalo, or elephant also. And in the common thing in the second part is the use the driver force to make it driving. That's and the third part is the engine that use the engine to make drive. And for the reason why it changed from the animal to be a driver is because it's to challenge that it just use the animal labor to include the need of the animal care, limit speed, and the chemical side. And so they are invented the change mechanism to develop the innovation along the utility side of alternative for that enable to vehicle to move by the driver yourself, that you can make it along with yourself to by not animal to contain with it. And for the second part to be the engine, that is because the is it's a vehicle by a driver force is use so much power of the driver that make a speed that's lower, and it's why you can ride it not a long time. So they just invent the engine for you to be comfortable about the long driveway and reduce the energy consumption of the driver and ensure the velocity and highly safety for the driver by itself. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Tirawat, for your presentation. Can be next person, Thanatit.เปิดสกินได้ไหมธนาคิดสะดวกแชร์ปะแชร์อยู่เนาะโอเค
ครับ My topic is about vehicle on land. The first pattern A is the time the pattern emerged is 1st century to 19th century. The identifiers use animal or human to drive. And the constant element exhibit common trait and the show recurrence is the speed may not be much, and there is comfort but not much, such as a rickshaw, horse, drawn carriage, cart, and the change is change to have a faster and more comfortable travel speed. If comparing between a horse-drawn carriage and walking which are host or college, we would definitely be faster and more comfortable. And pattern B, 19th century to 1920s. Identify pattern. There is a reduce into use of gear, force, and energy used in driving. And the constant element exhibit common trait and the show equivalent is higher speed than in the past era and more convenience developed from the previous era. For example, is bicycle, steaming automobile, steaming locomotive. The change to be faster, more comfortable, and safe to travel. If comparing between steam automobile and postal carriage, with steam automobile were sure to be faster and more comfortable, and suffer before the animal were complete uncontrollable. For create a new pattern, from pattern A to pattern B, shift from using people and animal to more easily control vehicle and machine. And the pattern C, 1920s to 21st century. The identified pattern is its use little force to move and mostly use fuel and electricity to move. And it has been further developed from the old for the better. And the constant element exhibit common trait and the show recurrence is it can accelerate faster than in previous era and very comfortable, such as tram, motorbike, car, using gasoline, and car using electronic subway train. They tend to be faster in traveling, more comfortable and safer. If comparing between motorcycle and bicycle, motorcycle must be much faster. There is also modification from a bicycle to a motorcycle. What here new from pattern B to pattern C. Achieve from easily control vehicle and machine to ones that useful energy and require a small amount of human power to drive. This is all my presentation ครับ
Thank you ค่ะ ธนกิจค่ะ Next gonna be นันนิชาค่ะ
ค่ะสักครู่นะคะ
ค่ะ
นี่ค่ะพูดแค่ข้าม common trait กับ change in pattern เลยใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ค่ะ
Okay, so the topic that I chose is light sources, and I identify it in three patterns. The first one is natural light sources. So it's mainly used like a sun and natural elements such as like a wood, a glasses, and a rock. So the irregularities in this pattern is it only rely on natural light and natural elements. So there are limitations of duration and like it can be light anywhere and whenever you want. So in order to make that more efficient and more convenient, we create a pattern B is artificial light source. In this pattern we use a lot of candles and we change from a wood fuel to like an oil, a wax to be a fuel of the flame. So in these two patterns, pattern A and pattern B, because we mainly use flame that are a risk of fire hazard. But in pattern B, it's more convenient to carry around, and it can be light anywhere and whenever you want, and it can light when it's dark. So, but still, this pattern B still have limitation of times, and people want to have a longer duration when lighting a fire. So they create an electric light source. In this pattern, it's improve a lot of control and a lot more convenient. And it also excludes the risk of fire hazard. And in this one, because the candles, it doesn't light that isn't this like it didn't shine that much, is have a limitation of illumination, but in electric light source we can control it and we can adjust like what we want, make it brighter or make it darker, so it provide more efficient and accessible. And that's all.
Thank you, Han and Nisha. It's clear presentation. Okay. Next is Badison ค่ะ
โอเคโยค่ะ
อ่า
โอเคอาจารย์ให้เริ่มที่สไลด์ไดอะแกรมเลยใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ใช่ค่ะ เพราะว่าเวลาสายมาแล้ว
โอเค
ค่ะ
อาจารย์เห็นหน้าจอหนูไหมคะโอเคค่ะ โอเค a diagram show of watching the performance or movies or drama or something. I divide to 4 pattern. The pattern A is the right performance. This is a right performance that take place at that moment. It has a highest immersion, includes light, color, and sound. So to change to pattern B, the regularity is changed to recording first, editing, and then broadcasting. The pattern B is theater, outdoor movies. This pattern is record that performance and that it should make it as attractive as possible before being shown on the special days, time, and place. From pattern B to pattern C, equality is viewer can buy and watch for themselves. There is no need to watch with others. The pattern C is so are performance records on various media such as CD, so that they can be viewed conveniently anywhere, anytime. From pattern C to pattern D, regularity is you can watch without to have this convenience that pay for the membership. The pattern D is video on demand such as Netflix, Disney Plus, or on platforms such as Facebook Live, YouTube streaming. The pattern D is broadcast mainly towards the internet. Pay a subscribe to watch. It just have an internet to watch it. That's all.
ใช่ค่ะ thank you very much ค่ะ Badison. Yeah, I think it's a clear pattern categories. Yeah. Then gonna be okay, so that will be the end of 2 group. Okay, so if you already present, you could leave the class. You don't have to stay until the end. But if you haven't, yeah, please continue to present, but only present what caused the new pattern, okay, or the irregularity and your patterns. Okay. Yeah. Next gonna be Prichaya ค่ะ ค่ะ
อาจารย์ อาจารย์เห็นสไลด์ไหมคะ
เห็นแล้วค่ะ
โอเคค่ะ Good morning, my name is Prichaya Maksap. Today I'm going to present about evolution of transportation. I divide transportation into 3 patterns. The first one is the journey that we use in the past and still use until now. This pattern emphasizes the use of human and animal labor to vehicle take a long time to travel. And the second one starts from 1768 until now. It has still been used on train in some area. This pattern starts using steam engine to save energy, can carry a lot of people and luggage over long distance, and save time traveling up. And the last one starts from 1886 until now. This pattern mainly uses fuel for propulsion such as oil, gas, electricity, and can travel to destination quickly. From pattern A to B, because of walking and level of people and animal, there are limitations to speed and security. This led to invention of steam engine. And from pattern B to C, although steam engine becomes stronger and faster, but it is limited in terms of size and maintenance that require a lot of expense, and it also has an impact on the environment. That's all. Thank you.
thank you ค่ะพิชยาค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ค่ะเป็นเรื่อง transportation โอเค next gonna be ปุญญพัฒน์ค่ะ หรือปัญญพัฒน์นะ อยู่ไหมปันอยู่เนาะแต่ต้องเปิดไมค์ก่อนนะ ตอนนี้อยู่ไหมปัญญพัฒน์ปะเดี๋ยวขอดูแชทก่อนนะ กดเปิดไมค์ไม่ได้เดี๋ยวอาจารย์ลองเปิดให้นะแป๊บนึงนะไม่รู้ตอนแรกเข้ามาต้องจอยแบบออดิโอแบบ Wi-Fi ได้แล้วเนาะโอเคค่ะ
So my topic is evolution of music player. The pattern A is live performance and communal music, experience where essential with limit access to music. Pattern B is music consumption become more individualized and possible with the advent of device like radio, record player, moving away from communal live performance. And for the pattern C is music consumption become highly accessible and personalized through digital streaming service on smartphone. For the irregularity from pattern A to pattern B is the aim is to make music more accessible beyond live performance, allowing individuals to enjoy music on their own terms and their own space. And for the pattern B to pattern C is to seamlessly integrate music into the fabric of everyday life by incorporating it into music functional device like smartphone, ensuring that music is readily available whenever and wherever user desire. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, I'm gonna discuss a little bit on the change within pattern. Yeah, I saw that you mentioned that it's, for example, the first one, it is the live performance and communal music experience where central with the limit access to record music. The objective of this column is actually the change within pattern. Like for example, within the pattern of pre-20th century, what are the change within that pattern? So this one is music player. So that time is like all singing, right? People.
Yeah.
I could think of like some place could have a music player, could have some tools to help enhance the intensity of the voice or something. I think that could be some change within pattern. My point is to want to make sure that we are on the same page, that the objective is the change within pattern. For example, for your second one, you have radio, you have a music box. So the change are the process of the sound making are different, for example. Okay. Okay, thank you. Next is Wasin. Wasin.
Hello ครับ
ค่ะ
Okay so ท่านเห็นสกรีนไหมครับ
เห็นแล้วค่ะ
so my topic is about headphones. First pattern is from late 19th to 20th century. The headphones were heavy specialized tools that were used in telecommunications and military applications. The second pattern is from mid 20th century to the late 20th century. As audio entertainment like radios and records gained popularity, headphones become accessible for personal use. Designs became lighter and more comfortable and stylish, while stereo sound and improved audio quality were introduced. And the last pattern is from late 20th century to present. The headphones were introduced with digital audio formats and signal processing as part of the digital revolution. Bluetooth became popular due to its wireless connectivity and mobility. Features such as noise cancellation and sound customization improved the listening experiences. From pattern A to pattern B, the transition makes the evolution of headphones from niche tools for specific purpose to consumer products for personal entertainment. The pattern here is one of democratization, as headphones become more widely available and popular among the public. From pattern B to C, this transition from analog to digital formats, as well as the introduction of wireless connectivity, represents a significant step forward in headphone technology. The trend shifts toward technological innovation, as headphones evolve to meet the demands of a digital age, providing better sound quality and convenience and connectivity options. That's all.
Thank you for your presentation. I think you provide clear explanation on the detail of each pattern. Thank you. Next gonna be พลกฤษค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะกิจเป็นเรื่องผัด dissipative
ต้องพูดอันไหนบ้างนะครับอาจารย์
เป็นหน้าที่what create new pattern เลยก็ได้ค่ะ เรามีหน้านี้ไหมว่าเรามี pattern อะไรบ้างแล้วก็ what create new pattern
โอเคครับ First my pattern is about wind cooling. My first pattern is wind from the nature, and the second is wind from blowing, and the third is wind from electrical appearance. What create the new pattern from the nature to the blowing is the shift from relying on natural air to handle fans is driven by need for cooling air and personal comfort. Handheld fans allow a person to control ventilation and ambient temperature, make it portable and easy to use. From hand fan to the electrical is the need for efficient climate control system overrush areas. The air conditioner excel in controlling temperature and air quality according to individual needs, effective in managing both weather conditions and airborne pathogens. From A to B, the irregularity is For the personal climate control convention, they provide portability, allowing users to regulate temperature wherever they go. And from B to C is a demand for efficient climate control in rush space, and air conditioners excel in regulating temperature and removing germs, providing detailed control even the hot weather. Thank you for listening.
Thank you,ค่ะ. If only feedback that I could give probably the first one you said it's only air blow, right? Yeah, that one is difficult to find chain within pattern. When for this assignment, yeah, it would be better to like include other. I'm not sure, like beside wind from nature, how we could start with maybe one could use like leaf or something that have a big size for dissipate air. So we could add two things in the pattern. For example, only wind and also using natural product that we can find. Okay, thank you.
ขอบคุณครับ
ค่ะ next gonna be Francisco.
Yeah.
พี่ปิดไมค์ด้วย
Thank you ครับ
หน้านี้เลยไหมครับหรือว่าต้องไปอีกหน้า
ใช่ค่ะใช่เลย
Okay. For pattern A is animal labors, such as riding horses or using animals to pull carriers like carts and wagons. This traditional transport method persisted for a century, driven by the practicality and the efficiencies. But the issue is the amount of money that you need to take care of the animal and the restricted speed and the bulky size of the carts. The steam engine was introduced. This inventive solution, coupled with the adoptions and alternative forces, empowered vehicle to respond to the driver needs efficiently. Pattern B is steam-powered vehicle. Steam-powered vehicle is a innovation such as steam-powered ships, trains, and cars. This period marked a significant shift in transportations during the Industrial Revolution, where steam engines played a central role in powering various modes of travel. The irregularities are the use of engine employing various fuel result in decreased energy consumption for the driver, increased speed, and improved safety, guaranteeing a more comfortable travel experience. Pattern C is engine-powered vehicles, like modern vehicles, motorbike, cars, planes. This represents the evolution from steam-powered to internal combustion engines and other advanced technologies in the realm of transportation. These modes of transportation characterize contemporary automobile, reflecting advancements in engineering and technology.
Thank you, Francisco, for your presentation. I think you provide clear irregularities and categorize the pattern clearly. Next gonna be รัฐภูมิค่ะ
ครับ my pattern is weapon is starting from the Stone Age, all manual era, about 27,000 or 38,000 years ago. There was no technology at all. Humans take things found in the nature and make them into tools and weapons, but the materials not high quality and not up to standard. So humans had to develop materials to use steel, to make weapons. It makes the weapons have more quality and durability, but still doesn't have much technology and difficult to use until the machine era. All of weapons come from technology, high quality and durability, convenient to use, and there is a lot of variety. Thank you.
ค่ะthank you ค่ะรัฐภูมิค่ะ okay. Manual metal and machine next is สสิการค่ะ
ฮัลโหลค่ะ
ค่ะ
สักครู่นะคะอาจารย์เห็นหน้าจอไหมคะ
เห็นแล้วค่ะ
โอเคค่ะ Okay. Good morning, Professor. I am Sasikan Thamasalangun. Today I'm going to present my pattern, which is makeup. As I do the research, I found that I can separate the pattern roughly into 3 patterns. Let's start with the first one, the ancient era. They decorate eyes and eyeballs with dark and thick eyeliner with makeup that mostly made from nature plants such as flowers. The makeup is a sign of healthy and beauty. Next one is the 20th century. They decorate eyes, face, and eyeballs with home makeup ingredients such as chalk. The unisex makeup are started to be more well known since some of Hollywood males started to wear makeup, and that also appeared in the magazine. And the last one is nowadays. They decorate eyes, face, and eyeballs with safer and sometimes colorful makeup. They also provide a skincare and makeup for sensitive skin. This period of time, the unisex makeup are very popular, and everyone can do makeup as long as it makes them feel more confident. And in these 3 patterns, I found that they created a new patterns. Let's start with from the ancients to the 20th century. They started to have more colorful and long-lasting makeup. Some people began to think that women are fragile, like all the flowers, and they wanted women to make up every day in order to be wonderful vibes. Although less than in the past, they still use pants with ingredients, as you can see in the 20th century. Let's move from the 20th century to nowadays. The unisex makeup are very popular due to the hard work of them feminist and bisexual people by doing protests and campaign. The researcher developed safe ingredients for their products, as you can see in the nowadays time period. And this is it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation, observation, and summarizing. Okay. Next gonna be อัครเดชค่ะ
ฮัลโหลครับแป๊บนึงนะครับอาจารย์
ค่ะ
ใช่อ๋อ Okay, so the first era is prehistoric era is about 12,000 to 10,000 years ago, and second is Greek Roman era. It's about 2,000 to 1,500 years ago, and the third one is present era. So what creates a new pattern A to B is took less time to make one choose to the material and design support fit enough, more fit protection, more fashionable, more comfortable, and B to C it took more less time to make one shoe, more high technology, material and design. The material and design very support knee joints, hold fit protection and fashionable. The irregularity the old shoe is not comfortable, so they designed to use material like leather and thread to make a shoes. The second one is the Greek Roman shoe doesn't support our knee joint and not comfortable to our feet, so they designed to put air under feet and use synthetic material to make it more comfortable and support our knee joint. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. There are some pictures that I never seen before regarding the shoes as well. Let's see, next gonna be พิมพ์วาดค่ะ
Okay. So I choose a title of animation. Oh, wait. Okay. I divide these patterns by two things: is the quality of animation and is of workflow and methods. First pattern is like a traditional technique styles such as a hand-drawn. Anyway, they also change the type of paper and add some color in animation in this pattern too. This places Glenn's emphasis on the animator comfort. Is this because of traditional animation takes a long time and consumes a lot budget, so we found an easier way to create better animations. Then in the mid period, it was many new things in this, such as the new techniques for animation. I divide it with the common trait is the prosperity of animation. I think it's like a golden age. Uh, Also, we started to use computer to make an animation in this period too. I saw this as the market competition because animation is gaining popularities. So there is a need to find a way to make animation more interesting. Then in the last pattern, uh, all of this has been digitized. 3D animation and combination techniques become popular in this period too. At the same time, new techniques are constantly being experimented with. So that's all of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Hafimwat. And we can clearly see from her photos that there are the change in different patterns clearly. Next is รินรตาค่ะรินรตา
ค่ะ
ค่ะ
เดี๋ยวเราจะพูดนะคะ
ค่ะ alright
แชร์โอเคค่ะเอาอะไรเนี่ยเดี๋ยวเดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงนะคะ มันโอเคโอเค Hello, Professor. Today I would like to present about the pattern of lighting. First pattern, it will be about traditional lighting that, for example, candle and oil lamp. Second is industrial revolution. The things that happen in this era, for example, argan lamp and the gas lighting lamp. And final is electric T generation. This generation is the light bulb happen in this generation, and other type of the light have invented more in this generation. For the cause of change, in ancient time, there was a rather difficult way to start a fire, and there was nothing to prevent the fire from going or from catching or setting that have that causing a fire accident. So argon lamp and gas lighting lamp began to have cover to keep the light inside. And next, pattern B actually make a candle fire harder to extinguish and less of a light leaks. But in an era where electricity is used, lighting is more convenient. Although there is still a list of fires such as in the event of a short cut, it is still better than with traditional lighting.
Thank you,ค่ะ Lilata.
Thank you.
Nowadays, in some equipment, they have fuse which prevent the fire to cause explosion or something as well. That's really helpful. ปันทาริค่ะ
ค่ะ
อ่านถูกไหมเนี่ย ปันทาริขออภัยโอเค
แบบนะคะเปิดวิดีโอ
โอเค
แป๊บนึงนะคะเปิดแชร์หน้าจอ
ไอคอนหาไอคอนแตะก่อนแล้วมันจะมีไอคอนสีเขียวลูกศรขึ้น
โอเคได้แล้วค่ะ
เย่
เห็นหรือเปล่าคะ
เย่เห็นแล้วชัดเลย
Yeah. So today I will present you about evolution of camera. First era is a film era. Identify pattern is use film and have a paper picture and no video record. And second era is digital era. This is use electronic film display in computer or paper picture and can video record. And third era is mobile phone era. Is use electronic file display in mobile phone, computer or paper picture, video record and transfer by internet. For pattern A to be in a pattern A film era, we need a film and can see picture after develop film. It takes many days, but a pattern in a digital era, we can see a picture immediately via display of camera and can print paper picture. For pattern B to C in a pattern we need to carry camera, but in the pattern C the camera is in mobile phone and we can carry almost all time and ready to share picture with other via social network.
Thank you ค่ะปันทารีเนาะก็ I think you provide a clear observation and explanation on different patterns. Thank you. Last person, right? Paravi ค่ะ
Yes, please.
Okay.
แป๊บนึงนะคะอาจารย์เดี๋ยวเราแชร์ก่อน มันขึ้นไหมคะอาจารย์
ยังเลยค่ะ เรื่องเมาส์เนาะกำลังมาแล้วค่ะ
อ่าอาจารย์เห็นไหมคะ
ค่ะ เห็นแล้วค่ะ
โอเคค่ะ okay, for this the optional of mouth. Okay, so the pattern A, the mouth is so heavy and convergent if give X and Y in a format. So this have the have a meta choice this way. So have a trend of pattern in Y in this 2000 year for the functionally the new function. So okay อาจารย์อันนี้หนูต้องพรีเซนต์
อ่า
แป๊บนึงนะ
ค่ะพี่เซนก็คือเรามีทั้งหมด3 pattern เนาะค่ะอันนี้เราก็อธิบาย
พูดถึ
ส
ง
รุปก็ได้ค่ะ
pattern แล้วก็พูดถึงการเปลี่ยนแปลงของ pattern ถูกไหมคะ
ไม่เอาพูดถึง pattern แล้วก็พูดถึงสิ่งที่ทำให้เกิดการเปลี่ยนแปลงของ pattern ก็คือขวาสุดอะค่ะคอลัมน์ขวาสุดแต่ว่าเอาแบบสรุปก็ได้ค่ะ
ได้ค่ะ the pattern A, the initial model optionally repay on the X, Y, and access port challenge of the youth, the dice heavyweight model and the community weight. And a pattern B, the die is compact, weight meet the smallest inside and lightweight. And then enhancing its optionality in not area for you simple. Optional, making the absolute in the pattern. And last pattern, a pattern C in a new model, and we have a model. The new model design is slim and smaller. Have a sensor used for the model. It so help to us with to work. It's so easy to work. Okay. The 11 function creates from pattern A to pattern B. Okay, we know the pattern A so hard to use, right? But we made the option so the sensor in mouth used for the sensor in mouth it function or sorry แป๊บนึงนะคะอาจารย์เดี๋ยวนะ sensor ใน mouth ที่จะช่วย okay sensor in mouth in help for us in the never for support and you can put it on your back in go away. So from pattern B to pattern C. Today, more an invention in the material for style. The canding to awareness lens for use needs.
Okay, so the community, the functionality of the mouse had before more dive. Also use the most fully type that this is option include mouse design for general use within mouse offering of telling. Okay, and then this perfectly on the right year now. Okay, thank you, teacher.
ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะก็อาจจะเรื่อง pronunciation นิดนึงแต่ก็ไม่เป็นไรเนาะแต่ว่าอันนี้คือเราก็เขียนเป็นคำพูดเราเองป่ะหรือว่าเราหามาแล้วเรามาสรุปหรือว่ายังไงคะ
อันนี้หนูรีเสิร์ชข้อมูลค่ะ
เราไม่ได้เป็นคำพูดตัวเองเนาะ
ใช่ค่ะ
โอเคค่ะอันนี้แนะนำเพิ่มเติมนิดนึงคือในช่อง chain within pattern เนี่ยจริงๆความหมายความว่าในสมมติยุคแรกเนอะยุคแรกเนี่ยมันมีการเปลี่ยนแปลงยังไงบ้างยุคที่2มีการเปลี่ยนแปลงยังไงบ้างเนอะอันที่เราเขียนอาจจะหมายถึงอย่างนั้นไหมนะสมมติอายุที่2บอกว่าเราทำให้มันขนาดเล็กเนาะแล้วก็เบาลงแล้วก็เพิ่ม stability อาจจะยังไม่ค่อยตรงเท่าไหร่เนาะยุคที่2ความจริงถ้าเกิดเราดูจากภาพที่เราเลือกมาอาจจะว่าบางอันเขาเพิ่มไม่รู้ว่าตรงที่หมุนเนาะสีแดงเนี่ยไม่แน่ใจว่าแบบเป็นลูกกิ้งหรือยังไงเนาะอาจจะเป็นฟังก์ชันที่เพิ่ม
ตัวเมาส์แพทเทิร์นที่2อะค่ะอาจารย์มันเป็นการปรับดีไซน์จากแพทเทิร์นแรกให้มันเล็กลงแล้วก็ตัวเซนเซอร์ของเมาส์อะค่ะมีตัวแกนที่มากกว่า x y ค่ะปกติรุ่นแรกอะค่ะแกนเมาส์มันจะสามารถขยับได้แค่ขึ้นลงใช่ไหมคะแต่ทุกรุ่นที่2ค่ะมันสามารถเซนเซอร์มันสามารถตรวจจับได้ทั้ง360ค่ะและตัวหมุนสีแดงมันคือไอตัวเรดาร์เซนเซอร์ค่ะ
ค่ะแล้วตอนนี้ภายในแพทเทิร์นเขาเองมีอะไรที่เขาเปลี่ยนแปลงไปไหมในแพทเทิร์นเขาเอง
มันจะมีการเปลี่ยนแปลงคือในส่วนของแพทเทิร์นแรกค่ะมันจะไม่สามารถพกพาไปไหนได้เพราะมันค่อนข้างที่จะหนักแล้วก็ฟังก์ชันในการใช้อะค่ะยังไม่ค่อยดีนะส่วนแพทเทิร์นที่2นะคะมันจะมีการปรับขึ้นมาจากยุคแรกซึ่งก็ค่อนข้างที่จะแตกต่างอยู่แต่คือในยุคปัจจุบันนะคะคือด้วยความที่มันไร้สายด้วยแล้วก็สามารถใช้เป็นเมาส์แท็บโดยที่ไม่ต้องมีเมาส์ก็ได้นะคะมันค่อนข้างที่จะเป็นการมันมีอะไรที่มันยูนิคในแต่ละรุ่น
เข้าใจค่ะเวลาเปรียบเทียบแต่ละรุ่นเข้าใจแล้วแต่ว่าเวลาเราเปรียบเทียบในยุคมันเองลองอธิบายให้อาจารย์ฟังเพิ่มนิดนึงว่าในยุคมันเองมีอะไรที่เปลี่ยนแปลงไปไหมสมมุติเรามี4รูปทำไมถึงต้องมี4รูปมันมีอะไรที่แตกต่างกันไหมหรือเรายังอาจจะยังไม่ได้ค้นตรงนั้นว่ามันต่างยังไง
ความแตกต่างของ4รูปในยุคนั้นหนูมีข้อมูลค่ะหนูไม่ได้ใส่ว่าหนูไม่รู้ว่าหนูจะต้องใส่อะไรหน่อย
ค่ะจริงๆเราคอลัมน์ที่เขียนว่า chain within pattern เนาะหมายความว่าใน4รูปนั้นน่ะมันมีอะไรเปลี่ยนแปลงไปค่ะ
ก็คือการเปลี่ยนแปลงของในรูปในแพทเทิร์นไม่ใช่การเปลี่ยนแปลงระหว่างแพทเทิร์นกับแพทเทิร์นถูกไหมคะ
ใช่เพราะว่าการเปลี่ยนแปลงระหว่างแพทเทิร์นเนี่ยมันจริงๆมันก็จะแฝงอยู่ในคอลัมน์ persistent in common แล้วก็อยู่ใน factor creating new pattern แล้วแหละเวลาที่เราเทียบข้ามอันค่ะโอเคค่ะฟีดแบ็กประมาณนี้ค่ะโอเคก็ขอบคุณสำหรับ presentation ค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะเรียบร้อยแล้วใช่ไหมคะอาจารย์
ใช่ค่ะ